Yeah, it's nice.
Thank you. Thank you for the talk. And today my talk is about.
Wait, I have to introduce you. And people have just gone for tea. They will come in 2 minutes. And then I will introduce you and then you can start talking.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. I mean, people have gone for tea and they should come and.
Balu, I think we can start now. It's we're given 5 minutes. Time.
Okay, fine. Okay. Yeah.
11:30.
Yeah.
So
sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let me invite all of you, both the online participants and the offline participants, for this lecture by Professor Wang. We'll be talking on cryptanalysis on hash function. Please proceed.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Today, my talk is about bit-basis cryptanalysis on hash functions. I'm Xiaoyun Wang from Tsinghua University, China. My talk includes the following 4 parts. First, I would like to introduce hash functions, and secondly, to introduce bit cryptanalysis and clearing attack on hash functions. And the third part is about bit cryptanalysis on symmetric ciphers. Finally, is the conclusion. Today, cryptography is very important for cyber security. It is the core technique of cyber security. Especially, it is very important for security of computer networks, IoT, mobile networks, and cloud computing. Why cryptography is very important today? Because it can satisfy 5 requirements of network information security. Especially the encryption can ensure the confidentiality, and the hash function can ensure the message integrity and use to check whether the message is original. And the digital signature usually together with the hash function to guarantee authentication and non-repudiation. And encryption, digital signature, and the hash function are the fundamental cryptographic primitive. Especially, hash function is a fundamental tool in cryptography, and also is the origin technique for blockchain. Hash function comes from IBM discussions in 1953. It is used to compress file keyword to a hash value and use the fast searching the file in database. This is not a cryptographic hash function. It is different. But in 1979, Merkle gave the one-way hash function, and this hash function must satisfy 3 secure properties. First is hard to find pre-image. Second is hard to find synced pre-image. The third is the one-way hash function only have 2 security properties: the pre-image and the synced pre-image resistance. The purpose of a hash function in this period is to guarantee secure authentication And in 1981, the cryptographers Davis and Price first gave the cryptographic hash function. This hash function should satisfy 3 security properties. Besides the pre-image and the synced pre-image, also need to satisfy clearing free properties. And because the RSA signatures have a forgery attack, named existence of forgery attack, because RSA based on big integer factorization, it has these equations. It means that if we have the signature of a message 1 and also have the signature of a message 2, we can get the message of we can get the signature of message 1 plus multiply message 2. And if we use a hash function, can destroy the algebraic structure because this equation does not satisfy. So hash function becomes a fundamental tool of cryptography because many crypto systems have the signatures, also have other algorithm based on hash function. How to design a good hash function, make it more secure. Firstly, Professor Merkel gave this structure to compress any message to a hash value. This is a very important structure used blockchain today. And from this model, we design the hash function. The hash function can be computed in parallel. And another model to compute to design a hash function is the Merkel-Dagger structure. This is proposed in Crypto 98. This is a chain structure. And for secure hash function, it can map any message with arbitrary length to a fixed length output. The output usually called a hash value or digital fingerprint. And if usually the digital fingerprint is 128 bit or 160 bit, or today usually the bit is 256 bit, also can be 384 bit and 500 terabit. And for digital signatures, usually we can firstly compute the hash value of a message M, and then sign the and give the signature of hash values. And the great contribution of hash value is print all the attacks based on data temporary. So it can be used to guarantee the traceability of blockchains today. And the following, I will introduce the 3 security properties of hash function. The first one is pre-image resistance. It means that given any y, the hash value y, it is computational hard to compute m. The hash value of m is y. This technique can be used to protect password. Usually, the server save the hash value of password m, not directly save the password m. And for the 256-bit hash values, it is very hard to find the collision with the it is very hard to find the synced pre-image of m. Maybe use the global computer resources. It are also very hard. But if the hash value is only 70-bit, usually it uses several minutes to find the message m. This message m is Bitcoin. This is a very famous Bitcoin. The second security properties is the clearing resistance. It is computational hard to find any 2 different messages, M1 and M2, with the same hash value. If there is a contract M1, M1 is 1 million loan, and another contract is 20 million loan. If 2 contracts have the same hash values and their signature is the same, one signature is legal and another signature is illegal, it is very hard to distinguish which one is legal, which one is illegal. This is very dangerous in the real world. So it is very important the clearing resistant and the second security properties is synced pre-image resistance. Given any message M1, it is computational hard to find another message M2. The 2 messages have the same hash values, and the computational complexity is the exhaustive searching. Today, hash function is widely deployed in many information systems, including digital signature, authentication, digital certification, and also used in many protocols, including the APSEC, VPN, SSL, TLS, 3GPP protocols, also in PGP, many. And hash function also used in electronic payment, electronic cash, Bitcoin, and blockchains. And many crypto systems face the threat of attack if an adopted hash function is broken. The second part, I would like to introduce the bit cryptanalysis and clearing attack on hash functions. We first recall the existing clearing attacks and make the research on hash function in 1995. Before 1995, there are about 7 popular hash functions, except RIP-MD 160. Other 6 hash functions are given the clearing attack, except MD4. Its clearing attack is given by Professor Dopty, and other 5 hash functions are broken by our group. And among of these hash functions, MD5 and Xiaoyun are the most widely used and deployed hash function standard in the world. And today, SHA-2 and SHA-3 are the secure hash function, and also is the standard hash function standard. I will give some details about the clearing attack on hash functions. And usually, the dedicated hash function, there are 2 types of hash functions. One is the hash function based on block ciphers, and another type of hash function is the dedicated hash function. Today, my talk is about the dedicated hash function clearing attack. And the hash function is the integration of ARX operations. A is the addition operation, R is the rotation operation, X is all operations. This is the main operations for dedicated hash function. And a hash function usually have 48 to 80 steps operations. We first proposed the modular differential cryptanalysis of a hash function, also called bit-based cryptanalysis. For the bit-based cryptanalysis, we first find the sufficient conditions for clearing of 2 different messages before people give the clearing path, maybe by computer searching only for reduced versions of the hash functions, not the whole algorithm, and maybe by hand by the mathematical reduction. But we first give the sufficient conditions for the attack path of the whole mathematical for the whole algorithm. This is the first contribution. And the second contribution is it is a linearization method with probability. It means that because the hash function is a super high degree nonlinear equations, and we give the linearization method and reduce the equations to a larger amount of the linear bit equation. Very, very simple method. And the third contribution is the message modification to ensure most of the equation, most of the conditions hold with probability 1. And firstly, I will introduce the clearing attack on MD5. MD5 have 64 steps, and each 16 steps is a round. In each round, there is a non-linear function. This is linear. Three round function is non-linear function. Very simple functions, but the addition modular to power 32 is non-linear operations. After 64 steps, it is a very complexity equations. Cannot write the whole equation in computers. On the right, it is the step operations like this. And our clearing attack is to compute M and delta M such that and M plus delta M consists the clearance. Their hash of value are the same. For this two messages, we need 290-bit equations hold. It means that if 290-bit equations hold, two messages consists clearance. And we use a message modification to ensure 253 equations hold with probability 1, because before the message modification, each bit equation hold with the probability 1/2. This is very important for the message modification. And only 39 conditions need the computer to search. So the computational complexity is a total 39 computations. The theoretical complexity is a total 64 table look. And one table look is many times computation. So our the attack is very fast, very efficient. Our attack is the beta cryptanalysis. The very important contribution is to control the bit carry, because the addition operation will produce a bit carry. We use the bit carry control method to eliminate the avalanche. If a hash function is secure, the hash function must produce the very strong avalanche. If we can eliminate the avalanche to the zero avalanche is the first step, the two message will is the clearing. And we introduce our method in the details. For example, this is a very bad bit. Why it is a bad bit? In the position 26, because this bit will produce at least 10 avalanche bit. Every bit will produce another avalanche phenomenon. So the hash function is finally produce the strong avalanche. We hope to eliminate this bit. We need the bit carry. We need a 6-bit carry. And this bit carry can eliminate this bit. And so we can eliminate this avalanche bit. like this. And we need another additional contributor. For example, this is a contributor. This contributor will element this bit carry. So this bit carry is to element this bit, and this bit carry is finally element by this bit, like this. Every bit need bit equations like this. Every position, bit position have an equation. And the above is the clearing attack on MD5. Now I will introduce the clearing attack on SHA-1. And for SHA-1, we also want to find M and delta M. Delta M is constant. For M and M plus delta M, the constant is needed to find the constant value by the analysis the whole attack path. It is very hard to find the delta. And the two message collide need 320 bit conditions with each condition with probability 1/2, and also need 104 bit equations with probability 1. This bit equation is about message, the chosen message. This is the one equation, like this. This is the one equation. After the message modification, we can correct 251 condition hold with probability 1. This condition is among 320 bit conditions. And for the message equations, these equations derived by the mathematical analysis method. Here I didn't introduce its details. And each equation is hold with the probability 1 by choosing message very we need many conditions to choose the message. And finally, only 69 conditions cannot be modified. So we search these conditions by the computer. So the attack computational complexity is the total power 69. This work is the best paper award of Crypto 2005. And after MD5 and SHA-1 attack, NIST announced a series of policy documents. For example, the NIST decided to develop a new hash function standard by the public computation, and also announced the policy on hash functions to stop using SHA-1 for digital signatures, digital time stampings like this, and many other applications. And also also give the policy to use the SHA-2 after 2018. And after MD5 attack, there is a famous threat on digital certification forgery. And this group is led by the Professor Lastra, and the hard work also made by the very young student, Mike Steven. Today, Mike Steven is also a very famous cryptographer. And this attack is also based on my very roughly suggestion. And the forgery is based on the MD5 clearing attack path published in 2005, also based on my suggestion for the attack structure. It is very, very hard work. And based on this certification forgery, there is a very famous flame named the Wang flame. And this flame is discovered by the Russia security expert in 2012. And if some people, the computer attacked by the flame can work like the legal user and to destroy the message in the computer, maybe change the message, maybe steal the message in the computers, like the legal users. Very dangerous flame. And in response to MD5 and the Xiaoyun attack, NIST launched the public competition to develop the new hash function standard named SHA-3. After the 5 years design and evaluation, and finally the Cryptographic, the new hash function standard is Cryptographic, named SHA-3. And the Cryptographic is designed by a group including the co-inventor, Professor Demi and Raymond, also is the co-inventor for Advanced Encryption Standard, AES. First round, it is about 64 candidates, and the second round, only 40 candidates left, and finally the third round is 5 candidates, and finally only Cryptographic is the winner. At the meantime, especially in 2005, China also designed the hash function, the national hash function standard named SM3. It is led by Xiaoyun Wang, the designer, the design group. And today, SHA-3, SM3 Stringberg is the new generation standard of hash functions. The third part is the how to use the bit cryptanalysis to analyze symmetric ciphers. We also use the bit cryptanalysis to analyze HMAC, very important cryptographic algorithm. Also used to analyze block cipher, stream cipher, like this. And because hash function has not key, the secret key, but for block cipher and stream cipher, there is a secret key. So it is very hard to use the bit cryptanalysis on symmetric ciphers, especially to recover the secret key. Here I only introduce the method on Max, not introduce the other method on stream cipher and block cipher. MAC means message authentication code, and for MAC algorithm, input secret key and message, and output the tag of the message. People can use the tag to authenticate the original message over the message owner, whether it's illegal, whether the message is original. And there are 3 types of attack on Macs. One is distinguishing attack. It means that to distinguish it is a MAC algorithm or a random function. And the synced attack is distinguishing H attack because MAC usually designed based on block cipher or hash function. So the distinguish H attack means to distinguish which cryptographic primitive is used in the MAC. The synced attack is a forgery attack, including existential forgery attack and selective forgery attack. Existential forgery attack means for a new message M to compute its MAC. And the selective forgery attack means the adversary can select a message M and another M prime. 2 messages have the same MAC. And the universal forgery is for any message M, the adversary can compute its MAC. This is the first 2 attacks. And the key recovery attack means to recover the secret key. If the people can recover the secret key, people can give the distinguish attack and the forgery attack. So the secret key recovery attack is a very dangerous attack. Our work is give the secret key attack for some famous MACs. First is the MACs based on block ciphers, including the Alpha MAC and the Pelican MAC and some other MAC based on 4-round AES. And we also give the attack on some MACs based on hash function. For example, we give the HMAC, AMAC based on MD5. This is a very famous MAC algorithm. The first 2 is our work. About the attacks on Macs, we only have a very little work on Macs algorithm. The first is the Professor Bart Prunell gave the distinguishing attack on Macs in Crypto 95, not a secret key recovery attack. And in 2005, Remy gave the some key recovery attack on AMAC, MD5, and HMAC Xiaoyun, but not the whole algorithm. Only is the reduced version, not the whole algorithm. And we first give the key recovery attack on HMAC MD5, MD5 MAC, and Alpha MAC, also including some other MAC. why we can give the attack? The main idea is before people can only distinguish the clearing, but our method is to distinguish inner near clearing, not clearing, is the inner near clearing. Also distinguish the path corresponding the inner near clearing. It means that the main difference is that we can distinguish the attack line because attack path, because from the attack path we can deduce the equations.
Yeah, Professor Wang, can you go through the other sides a little fast?
Okay, only a few minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. We use the attack path. We can deduce many equations. From the equations, we can produce the secret key like this. And for this method based on AES, because this is for AES, it is very hard to attack. We jump into the inner path and to distinguish the differential path and deduce the equations and recover the secret key like this. So we give the many key recovery attack on the Mac, and we also give the some attack on block ciphers, not whole algorithm, only the reduced version like this. Finally, is the conclusion. In the past 30 years, many cryptanalysis theory on symmetrical ciphers were developed, especially the differential attack, linear cryptanalysis, cube attack, also including our attack, beta cryptanalysis attack. And for public key cryptography, also there are many fundamental cryptanalysis theory, especially the triple R algorithm based cryptanalysis. This cryptanalysis method promotes the process of design method of cryptography, including the quantum resistance cryptography. It's over my talk. Thank you.
It was a beautiful talk introducing what is hash function for mathematicians, in particularly with your work on Xiaoyun and MD5. And is there any questions, remarks from the audience already there, present? Yeah. Is there any questions from the online participants?
Sorry, I can't understand your question.
No. I am asking whether anybody wants to ask any questions. Is there any question or the message of the Zoom? Message on the Zoom?
Not to find the question.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, since there are no more questions, thank you. Thank you very much for a beautiful talk. It was very nice.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.